Finding the mysterious city of Atlantis. What do we know to be true? Cultures around the world have myths that speak of a mysterious kingdom and lost civilizations spending eternity on the ocean floor. Among these tales, none have captured our collective imagination like the legend of Atlantis, dating back to the days of Plato. For centuries, historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters have scoured the ocean searching for gold, precious stones, and priceless sculptures left from the ruins of this ancient advanced island civilization. Though these searches yielded nothing, our quest for utopian cities with advanced technology and superior beings has led us to explore space. Now, using the latest underwater technology, we can pierce the ocean's depths like never before. By converting accurate data into vivid 3D images, we have made an extraordinary discovery. Is this a massive underwater structure carved by a mysterious lost civilization? Why are these perfectly circular stones resting at the bottom of a bay in the Aegean Sea? Are these just natural formations or the remnants of an ancient city? Let's find out. Humans have existed for over 6 million years, and a significant portion of our experience remains undocumented. We have attempted to preserve our history through cave paintings, petroglyphs, pictographs, rock carvings, oral traditions, and eventually the development of writing systems. However, a substantial part of our knowledge about our ancestors comes from archaeological remains. Archaeologists have uncovered incredible relics that have transformed our understanding of early civilization and even influenced modern technology. One of the most significant finds is the Dead Sea Scrolls, an ancient manuscript that provides invaluable insights into the origins of Christianity and Judaism. This new information has compelled scholars to reevaluate the relationship between these two belief systems. Beyond their religious significance, the careful preservation of these fragile artifacts has inspired new conservation methods for historical documents. Even more intriguing is the Antikythera mechanism, a complex ancient Greek device used to predict the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. This sophisticated technology, dating back to 150 to 100 BCE, has profoundly influenced our understanding of ancient Greek engineering and astronomy. The Antikythera mechanism's legacy continues to inspire the development of complex mechanical devices and fuel interest in ancient knowledge. Now, the existence of such remarkable ancient relics suggests the possibility of other lost technological achievements, potentially including the legendary city of Atlantis. Archaeologists now claim to have discovered the remains of this fabled civilization, sparking excitement about the artifacts that may lie within. Did the city of Atlantis ever exist? If yes, where was it? Keep watching to find out. We cannot fully understand the legend of Atlantis without first discussing its origin. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato wrote the legend of Atlantis in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, which were written around 360 BCE. Plato was born around 428 BCE in Athens, Greece, to an aristocratic family with a long history of political and intellectual influence. His original name was Aristocles, but he was given the name Platon, meaning broad, due to his broad physique. As a young man, Plato became a devoted follower of the renowned philosopher Socrates, who had a profound impact on Plato's intellectual development. Socrates' emphasis on questioning conventional wisdom and seeking truth through rigorous dialectic discussion deeply shaped Plato's philosophical approach. After the execution of Socrates in 399 BCE by the Athenian government, Plato began his own philosophical journey. He traveled widely, studying mathematics in Cyrene, philosophy in Italy, and spiritual mysteries in Egypt. These diverse experiences birthed Plato's ambitious vision of an ideal state governed by enlightened philosopher kings. In 387 BCE, Plato founded his famous academy in Athens, which became the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. For the next 40 years, Plato presided over the academy, training generations of philosophers, scientists, and statesmen. His most famous student was the young Macedonian prince Alexander the Great. Plato's philosophical knowledge is vast and hugely influential, covering topics ranging from metaphysics and epistemology to ethics, politics, and aesthetics. His most famous work, The Republic, lays out his vision of the ideal society and the role of the philosopher king in governing it. In this dialogue, Plato introduces his theory of forms, the notion that there exists a higher, transcendent realm of perfect, eternal forms, or ideas that underpin the imperfect physical world we inhabit. It is within this philosophical framework that Plato first mentions the legendary lost civilization of Atlantis. In two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato recounts a story he claims was passed down from the ancient Athenian statesman Solon, who heard it from Egyptian priests. According to this account, Atlantis was an advanced island civilization that existed 9,000 years before Solon's time. Many scholars believe that Plato invented the Atlantis myth as a literary device to illustrate his philosophical ideas. The Lost Island's technological prowess and quasi-utopian social structure serves as a counterpoint to Plato's vision of the ideal republic, governed by enlightened philosopher kings. Its destruction by natural forces also reflects Plato's belief in the cyclical, impermanent nature of worldly affairs. However, a minority of researchers argue that Plato may have based the Atlantis story on actual historical events or legends. They point to possible parallels between the descriptions in Plato's dialogues and archaeological evidence from the Minoan civilization on Crete, which was destroyed by a volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE. Others have suggested connections to the mysterious sea peoples who caused disruptions in the ancient Mediterranean world. Ultimately, the true origins of the Atlantis myth remain elusive. But what is the legend of Atlantis? According to the accounts of the ancient Greek philosopher, Atlantis existed around 9,000 years ago as a powerful island kingdom located beyond the Pillars of Hercules in the Atlantic Ocean. Plato learned of Atlantis from the ancient Egyptians, who he said had preserved detailed records of this wondrous civilization. As he described it, Atlantis was a vast and technologically advanced island, with a thriving capital city at its center. This metropolis was laid out in a series of concentric rings, separated by canals and harbors. At the heart of the city stood the great temple of Poseidon, the god-king who was said to have founded the Atlantean people. According to Plato, Atlantis was founded by Poseidon, the god of the sea. Poseidon fell in love with a mortal woman named Plato, and together they had 10 sons who became the first kings of Atlantis. Over generations, Atlantis grew into an empire that ruled over much of the known ancient world, including parts of Europe, Africa, and the Mediterranean. The Atlanteans were an extraordinary people who possessed an abundance of precious metals, including a mysterious substance called orichalcum, as well as other natural resources. They used this wealth to construct grand places, temples, and public baths. Their military might was unmatched, and they had a vast navy that controlled much of the Mediterranean and the Atlantic coast of Europe and Africa. For many centuries, the kingdom of Atlantis flourished, becoming a hub of culture, trade, and innovation. The Atlanteans were skilled engineers, architects, and seafarers. They developed an advanced system of government and thriving agricultural practices to support their growing population. By all accounts, Atlantis was a utopian society, where the people lived in harmony with the natural world and the gods who had blessed them. With a vast navy of ships and an unrivaled army, the Atlanteans conquered numerous neighboring regions, expanding their dominion across the ancient world. They amassed immense wealth and power, growing arrogant and greedy in the process. But little did they know that this victorious match would ultimately lead to the downfall of Atlantis. According to Plato, the Atlanteans gradually became corrupted by their own power and greed. They sought to expand their empire through conquest, invading other lands and enslaving their neighbors. The once virtuous people had fallen victim to their own hubris. The gods, angered by the Atlanteans' misdeeds, decided to punish them. In a single catastrophic day and night, the island of Atlantis was swallowed by the sea, sinking beneath the waves. Earthquakes and floods destroyed the kingdom, and the once mighty civilization was lost forever. A long dark age swept across the ancient world, and much of the wisdom and achievements of the Atlanteans were forgotten, including the knowledge and technology of Atlantis. Only scattered fragments of their history and culture survived, passed down through the generations. For centuries, the legend of Atlantis has captured the imagination of scholars, archaeologists, and the general public alike. Many have attempted to locate the lost civilization, scouring the ocean depths and examining ancient texts for clues. Hey guys, just a moment before we continue, be sure to join the Insane Curiosity channel. Click on the bell, you'll help us to make products of even higher quality. Is the lost city of Atlantis just another fictional story? Is there evidence that Atlantis did exist? For decades, explorers and historians have relentlessly searched for this ancient civilization. And just when everyone may have lost hope, local divers discovered something shocking in the waters off Japan's Ryukyu Islands that may have finally shed light on this enduring mystery. In 1987, a local diver exploring the serene depths off the southern coast of Japan stumbled upon a startling sight. This discovery was made approximately 25 meters below the surface. He encountered a series of remarkably well-preserved, almost perfectly carved steps with straight edges. It was the size of 5 football fields and as tall as an 8-story building. The structure had smooth walls and stone steps leading up to the top. This remarkable find, known today as the Yonaguni Monument, is a massive structure measuring 50 meters in length and 20 meters in width. The divers were amazed. They named the site the Submarine Ruins. It resembled the famous Machu Picchu ruins. But how could this be? Was it really built by ancient people? To better understand the scale and structure of the monument, divers used sonar to map the entire seafloor around Yonaguni. Sonar, short for sound navigation and ranging, is a technology that uses sound waves to detect and locate objects underwater. The sonar mapping of the Yonaguni site allowed for a detailed virtual reconstruction of the monument, revealing its scale and intricate structure. This technological approach allowed them to virtually visualize the site as if the water had been drained away. News of the discovery quickly spread. Divers, journalists, and scientists from around the world rushed to Yonaguni to investigate. Among them was Professor Masaaki Kimura, a leading marine geologist from Japan. When Kimura dove down to explore the structure, he knew immediately that it was man-made. Now here's where it gets interesting. The rectangular stacked pyramid-like monument is believed to be over 9,000 years old, predating even the earliest known civilizations. Its sheer size and architectural complexity have led many to believe that this enigmatic structure could be the long-sought-after remains of the legendary lost city of Atlantis. The discovery of the Yonaguni Monument has reignited the search for the truth behind the Atlantis myth, with researchers and explorers from around the world flocking to the site to uncover its secrets. During his extensive underwater explorations, Professor Kimura has uncovered several intriguing features that point to the possibility of human activity in the region. One of his most striking discoveries is what appears to be the front gate of a castle-like structure, complete with a tunnel-like passage and a looping road leading to a flight of steps. Guarding this entrance are 2 mysterious stone objects, evoking the ancient Japanese folklore of the dragon god Ryujin and his turtle companions. But that's not all. Kimura also stumbled upon mountain-like structures, each hosting a turtle with its neck extended, a detail that the professor believes may indicate the monument's importance and the need for vigilant protection. But the most captivating feature of this underwater site is the presence of a large, triangular pool, shallow enough for visitors to relax and warm themselves after the chill of the deeper waters. However, one thing that has left experts from various fields overwhelmed is the monument's wide, flat terraces, which Kimura believes could have supported a large population. Judging from its shape, I think they used it as a castle, the professor says, hinting at the potential grandeur of this lost civilization. To prove his theory, the professor examines the structure, seeking tangible evidence of human habitation. His efforts are rewarded when he discovers what appear to be primitive tools, hinting at the daily activities of the site's residents. But the most remarkable find comes when he uncovers a symbol-inscribed object, potentially a talisman used to protect the people, hidden behind one of the monument's massive walls. For Professor Kimura, the case is closed. The artifacts and the monument's carefully crafted features provide compelling evidence that this was once the home of a lost race of master builders, who thrived in this now submerged location some 9,000 years ago. Although Professor Kimura has drawn his conclusion, other experts are still studying the monument to find out if this is truly Atlantis. Is this monument really man-made or natural? Thanks to the sonar mapping, the true nature of this enigmatic structure can be properly examined to answer the pressing question. Upon closer examination, the edges of the monument appear remarkably even and straight, suggesting the work of skilled human hands. However, a closer look unveils an even more shocking truth. The surfaces are remarkably smooth and unbroken, leading to the realization that this is not a collection of handcrafted blocks, but a single solid mass of rock. Interestingly, the surrounding terrain reveals an important connection. The pyramid-like structure and the nearby headland are seamlessly linked, their surfaces adorned with intricate grooves. This suggests that the monument may have been a natural formation, meticulously carved and sculpted by the skilled hands of an ancient civilization. Hey guys, we did a video about the first civilization of the world. Be sure to check it out. On the surface, the monument's basic form appears to be a natural occurrence. However, the presence of the intriguing gateway, steps, turtles, and pool challenges this initial assessment. Could it be that an ancient civilization meticulously carved and transformed this massive rock formation into a grand castle or temple? The headland, with its possible connection to the monument, could hold the clues needed to determine whether this remarkable structure was the work of human hands or a unique natural formation. The shapes found on the Yonaguni monument are strikingly similar to those found on other structures, and this is no mere coincidence. Both are formed in the same way through the natural process of sandstone fracturing along vertical faults during seismic events, such as earthquakes. When subjected to these intense stresses, the sandstone can break apart, creating angular shapes and step-like structures that appear almost man-made. Some experts believe that submerging one of these structures underwater and allowing the currents to wash away the debris would eventually result in a series of exquisite, step-like formations that seem to defy the natural order. But despite their striking resemblance to man-made architecture, these wonders are no more human-made than any other feature found in the depths of the ocean. They further argue that the lack of tool marks on the Yonaguni monument further confirms that this is a work of nature, not of human hands. The forces that shape this remarkable place are entirely geological in origin, a testament to the raw power and beauty of the Earth's processes. But what of the artifacts that have been found near the Yonaguni monument? Could it be that this natural wonder was once inhabited by ancient people, with the talisman and tools discovered nearby being the remnants of their presence? The evidence, however, suggests otherwise. There is a distinct lack of pottery, walls, or any other clear signs of human occupation at the site. Experts further stated that the artifacts found, such as the talisman and tools, are not enough proof for human habitation, but were most likely dropped from a passing boat, landing on the monument by pure chance. The Yonaguni monument, it would seem, was not a human-built structure, but a natural formation that may have captured the imagination of those who encountered it in the distant past. Yet, despite the overwhelming evidence that the Yonaguni monument is a product of geological forces, some still cling to the belief that it holds a secret ancient purpose. You can take that leap if you have an imagination, says one expert, and say, yes, this could be an ancient city beneath the sea. But in the case of Yonaguni, the majority of researchers feel that this is simply not the case. It's geology, the expert concludes. But in all this doubt, one man remains steadfast in his convictions. Professor Kimura, a renowned scholar, is still firmly convinced that this enigmatic monument he has been studying was once inhabited by his ancestors. Undeterred by the skeptics, he continues his relentless search, determined to uncover evidence that will prove his theories correct. But this is not the only suggested site of the city of Atlantis. Archaeologists claim to have found an ancient map that led them straight to the lost city. Where was this ancient map found, and what does it say about the location of Atlantis? The recent discovery of a previously unknown ancient Roman map may finally hold the key to unlocking this age-old mystery. According to the writings of Plato, Atlantis was an island kingdom that sank into the sea over 9,000 years ago. Despite countless searches, its location has remained elusive until now. Researchers analyzing the newly surfaced Roman map have found shocking clues that point to a spot deep in the Atlantic Ocean far off the coast of Gibraltar. In the words of the lead archaeologist Dr. Elise Markham, this map is a game changer. The level of detail is astonishing, including what appear to be the remains of massive buildings and harbor structures. If authentic, it could finally reveal the true location of the lost city of Atlantis. The map in question is known as the Piri-Reis map. The Piri-Reis map is a remarkable world map compiled in the year 1513 by the renowned Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri-Reis. It was discovered back in 1929 by a team of archaeologists exploring an underwater cave system off the coast of Spain. When they pulled the tattered, waterlogged parchment from the depths, they had no idea just how valuable and important it would turn out to be. The map dates back to the 16th century, and it depicts a strange, circular island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Surrounding this island are numerous smaller islands and landmasses, as well as detailed ocean currents and depth measurements. But here's where it gets interesting. The central island is labeled Atlantis in an old, faded script. According to the Latin text inscribed on the map, the clue lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the ancient name for the Strait of Gibraltar, which was believed to be the gateway to the Mediterranean Sea. The map suggested that Atlantis might be situated somewhere in that mysterious region. Ever since its discovery, the Piri-Reis map has gained the interest of historians, archaeologists, and adventure seekers around the world. Could this really be a map of the lost city of Atlantis that Plato wrote about thousands of years ago? Many experts believe so, and they think the map could hold the key to finally proving Atlantis' existence. The reason the map is so significant is that it provides incredibly precise geographic details about the location of Atlantis that match up with Plato's descriptions. Plato said Atlantis was a large, circular island surrounded by smaller islands and situated in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Shockingly, the Piri-Reis map depicts exactly that. But that's not all. The map's detailed ocean current and depth measurements suggest that the creators of the map had access to advanced seafaring and navigation technology that would have been rare in the 16th century. This lends credibility to the idea that the map is depicting a real place and not something fictional. Of course, actually finding the physical remains of Atlantis based on this map is easier said than done. The ocean floor in the area marked on the map is thousands of feet deep, making any kind of underwater archaeological expedition extremely challenging and expensive. But that hasn't stopped determined explorers from trying. In the years since its discovery, several teams have mounted expeditions to the coordinates marked on the Piri-Reis map, searching for any signs of the lost city. While they haven't found Atlantis itself yet, this ancient map points to the Eye of the Sahara. The Eye of Sahara. Deep in the western Sahara Desert of Mauritania lies a geological wonder that has puzzled scientists for years: the Eye of the Sahara. This natural marvel has been shrouded in mystery, but recent discoveries have uncovered an astonishing connection between the Eye of Sahara and the legendary lost city of Atlantis. The story begins with an ancient Roman map created by the renowned geographer Pomponius Mela over 2,000 years ago. This intricate map depicted the visible universe as it was known at the time, and it holds a fascinating secret. Mela's map reveals that the Romans were aware of a significant civilization in the region, which has sparked a wave of excitement among researchers. A thorough analysis of the Eye of Sahara has revealed striking similarities between this natural wonder and Plato's descriptions of Atlantis. It's unlikely that these parallels are mere coincidence. The Eye of Sahara has geological features that align remarkably with Plato's account of Atlantis. According to Plato, Atlantis was surrounded by a massive rectangular plain, which is very similar to the vast rectangular formation extending hundreds of miles across the western Sahara Desert. Moreover, Plato described Atlantis as being surrounded by water, and researchers have detected visible signs of liquid abrasion at the Eye of Sahara. The presence of hot springs in the area further supports the hypothesis that the Eye of Sahara may hold remnants of a vanished city, much like Plato's depiction of the famous warm baths. Another strong piece of evidence is the discovery of elephant ivory in this region. You see, the ancient philosopher Plato had described Atlantis as a place with elephants. The fact that ivory was found in the Sahara Desert suggested that this could be the true location of the legendary city. This new evidence has sparked a lot of interest among scholars and adventurers. They believe that the Eye of Sahara, a unique geological formation in the desert, may hold the key to uncovering the lost city of Atlantis. Expeditions are now being planned to explore the Eye of the Sahara using advanced technologies and archaeological methods. Researchers are eager to uncover any remnants or artifacts that could provide more clues about the mysterious Atlantis. What are the implications of finding the lost city of Atlantis? Any confirmation that the mysterious Eye of Sahara is actually the remains of the fabled lost city of Atlantis could dramatically reshape our understanding of early human history. This astonishing discovery suggests that Atlantis was a real place, not just a myth. By exploring the ruins of this ancient civilization, we may gain new insights into how early societies developed and organized themselves. This could force us to rethink many of our existing assumptions about the capabilities and sophistication of communities that existed thousands of years ago. Despite the groundbreaking nature of this claim, skepticism persists among some critics. They argue that there is not enough conclusive evidence to link the Eye of Sahara with the famous Atlantis. However, the sheer amount of circumstantial evidence continues to demand further scientific inquiry and rigorous analysis. If the connection between the Eye of Sahara and Atlantis is indeed proven, it would challenge our current understanding of what early societies were capable of achieving. The potential discovery of this lost civilization could shed light on their remarkable technological advancements, including their mastery of metallurgy and sophisticated irrigation systems, as described by the ancient philosopher Plato. Atlantean architects were renowned for their engineering prowess, erecting massive structures of unparalleled complexity. Their ability to connect their city to the sea through an intricate canal system also suggests a highly developed commercial and trade network with other civilizations. The exploration of the secrets of Atlantis may offer explanations for the mythical accounts and legends that have captivated the human imagination for centuries. These stories have inspired countless works of literature and film, further fueling the fascination with this lost island. In the coming years, the search for evidence linking the Eye of Sahara to Atlantis is expected to intensify. Researchers will employ advanced technological tools such as archaeological methods and remote sensing techniques to uncover the secrets that have been concealed beneath the sands of time. The implications of such a finding could rewrite the history books and forever change our perception of the past. Exploring the ruins of Atlantis could shed light on its unique architecture, engineering feats, and advanced technologies. This could radically change our views on the capabilities of ancient peoples. Additionally, uncovering the history and fate of Atlantis may provide valuable insights into the factors that contribute to the success or decline of societies. Learning from the rise and fall of this mysterious civilization could inform our understanding of how human societies function and evolve over time. The discovery of Atlantis is not just about satisfying our curiosity. It has the potential to fundamentally alter our perspective on the past and change our most deeply held assumptions about the limits of ancient human achievement. Also, the discovery of Atlantis may shed light on ancient climate patterns, sea levels, and geological events that led to its disappearance. This could further our understanding of past environmental changes and how they have shaped the world we live in today. Many people doubt the claims about the Eye of Sahara and its connection to the lost city of Atlantis. However, more research is still needed. Professionals from different fields need to work together and carefully examine the evidence using scientific methods. This is the only way to verify or disprove the hypotheses about Atlantis. The search for Atlantis depends on dedicated explorers and skilled researchers. They're constantly discovering new areas and looking for answers. They use advanced technologies like special imaging techniques and underwater exploration tools to study everything they find. Finding Atlantis would be a major accomplishment for archaeology, but it would mean much more than that. It would show that humans are endlessly curious about the unknown. We always want to discover new things and learn more about the world. Even with all the doubts, the search for Atlantis continues. Researchers are determined to uncover the truth, no matter how extraordinary the claims may seem. They know that verifying the existence of this lost civilization could revolutionize our understanding of the past. The process is slow and challenging, but the potential rewards are immense. For now, the mystery of Atlantis remains unsolved, but the quest to find it presses on, driven by human curiosity and the hope of revealing secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years. We would love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe the Eye of Sahara is the location of Atlantis? Feel free to leave your answers in the comments below. If you liked this video, then you should check out the one on your screen. This video on an advanced civilization before humans will blow your mind. Thanks for watching.